Let's be honest, a lot of players pick advisory because they think the guns look cool. But if you're playing advisory like a fancy rifleman, well, you're leaving one of the most versatile classes in the game completely untapped. Today, I'm going to show you how to use the advisory class on Insurgency on PS5 and why it can completely carry your team to victory. Now this is part 3. If you haven't went to go see part 2 or 1 where I go over the rifleman and the breacher class, make sure you go back and watch those. Like I said, today we're going over the advisory class, and I want to tell you a little bit about the versatility of the advisor. The advisor is very versatile in the way that you can run SMG or you can run an AR. And how you set that AR up can also give you very long range to even touch the snipers out there. So it's very versatile. So if you're playing it, just know it's just not a fancy gun. And a lot of people often look it over because they don't know that it makes a difference. You're literally a jack of all trades. So why and what is the advisory class? It is a flexible support class. You gain access to unique weapons. Plus it is very strong at close to medium and even longer ranges depending on how you set the gun up. Great for adapting to different maps and objectives. For the best players who like to change their approach instead of sticking to one style. Let's go ahead and show you my loadouts that I build. Okay, so we're going to start out on security on advisor. My first class is the Mark 17 Mod O. I have the 2x 1x Mars sight, the compensator, the extended magazine, and the quick draw. 1x smoke, light carrier, light armor, and gas mask. Another one is the Mark 18 CQB-R. Extended mag, flash hider, 1x MAR, low recoil grip, the pistol, the TAR IQ, 1x smoke, light carrier, light armor, and gas mask. But like I said, you could even run the Vector at close range. We got the Trevor 7 or the Tavor 7 and even the L85, so you can even have an LMG. So like I said, very versatile weapons here. Let's go ahead and show you the Insurgents. My favorite, the Alpha AK, with the 2x 1x Mars sight, the compensator, the extended mag, and the loading grip. We'll have 1x smoke and light armor, light carrier, gas mask. The next class I have is the Ace 52, also very good. Extended magazine, flash hider, 1x MAR, recoil grip, smoke, and everything down here is the same. Always light armor, light carrier, and gas mask. But let's go ahead and go over some of the weapons here because I know you're looking forward to it. We have the P90. Come on now. Okay, we have the Alpha AK, the Ace 52. We have a sniper in the SKS. And we have the AKS 74U. So, all these versatile weapons. Now, I will say the higher the price of the weapon, the less attachments you can put on it. So if you get the SKS, you can put plenty of attachments on it. But if you pick out the Ace 52 or the P90, you won't be able to put as many attachments. Or as many smokes or a light carrier, all that. It all costs you points. Alright, moving forward, let's talk about how we actually play as the advisor. Now the advisor is meant to adapt to what your team needs. If they need somebody to push up close, choose an SMG. If they're getting picked off by a sniper, try to get an assault rifle or the LMG out and try to take care of that sniper. Also, it's important to lock down lanes for your team and move to the objective instead of chasing kills, aka chasing the rabbit. Look, we're not here for high KD gameplay. If you want that, make sure you go back to Call of Duty, okay? we need to be able to switch between aggressive and defensive play, right? So like I said, you're very versatile. So you need to be aggressive and defensive when you're playing in different situations. Some of the biggest mistakes I see people use the advisor class is playing too far from the objective, or treating the advisor like a sniper rifle. You need to adapt to what your team needs you to do. Also, overspending on supply points on attachments. If you don't have your gas mask, you're no use, right? You're gonna cough, you're gonna give your position away, you know. Trying to take every fight instead of choosing your smart engagements, right? Like I said, if you want to play aggressive, like where you're running around all crazy, go play Call of Duty, guys. Come on. Some of my pro tips is learn to switch between semi and fully auto, because you know I see a lot of people running around full auto all the time. You can, if you're inside buildings, full auto. If you're outside buildings, semi-auto. Also, reposition after every kill. And use your weapon strengths instead of forcing bad fights. So if you have an SMG, make sure you're taking close quarter battles. If you're having an AR or LMG or sniper, like the SKS, make sure you're doing mid to long range fights. And you also need to stay unpredictable. So that's why I say reposition after every few kills, right? You want to be unpredictable. Let your teammates know when you're covering a lane. Okay, a lot of people don't talk in the game. You know, when I go up and I stand on a wall, like at the beginning of a round, and I have my SMG out, and I need somebody to watch my back, I say, hey, I'm watching to the left on the wall because someone watched my back. You know, just asking, you know, I'm telling them I'm covering this spot. Can you cover me? Always think one step ahead and support your teammates' push. So if your team is pushing a certain angle, you know, try to think ahead how you can help your team. My final thoughts on should you play advisor. I give the visor about an 8.5 out of 10 because you can be very adaptable, right? And you get to choose guns that a lot of people don't get to play with because they're only on advisor class. So that's fun in its own way. And if you have, and you also have the option to adjust your playstyle to the fight, right? Now, if this guide helped you out, having a better understanding of what the advisory class is, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. It helps me out a lot. We are working through every class in Insurgency Sandstorm on PS5, and up next we'll be covering the demolition class. The one class that can wipe out an entire room with a well-placed explosive, or accidentally send your teammates back to the response room. Well, thanks for watching. This has been your boy Sweet Revenge, and I'll catch y'all on the battlefield when you least expect it. Peace.